Hi everyone, it's Sue Plum here to share another scrapbooking process video with you. Now for today's layout, I am sharing the third for the month for Kitaholic Kits using the December scrapbooking kit and mixed media add-on kit. So for today's layout, I'm actually scrapping a photo of my daughter and one of her best friends that was taken on their final day at primary school last year. And I thought for this layout that I really wanted to work with the Simple Stories cut apart paper that was in the kit there, which has got lots of bright colours on it. And I thought I might bring out one of my underused supplies from my stash, which is my gelatos. Now, if you've got some of these floating around in your stash, I hope that this inspires you to pull yours out and dust them off and create something with them as well. So I just had a sheet of white cardstock there, and I just wanted to create a really random coloured scribbled background. So you can see the four colours I'm working with there, the green, the blue, the yellow and the pink. I picked all of those out to match with that Simple Stories cut apart sheet that I knew I wanted to work with. And I just basically filled in a random square with scribbles in the middle of the page. And then I went back in with a baby wipe and blended out my scribbles just to blend them together a bit and to make it look more like a painted background on the page. Now, when you do this, make sure that you are switching spots on your baby wipe between blending colours. Otherwise, you are going to end up making mud with this particular range of colours. So I actually switched to a second baby wipe there just to make sure that it was super clean before I was changing to another colour. And you can see how using the baby wipe, you could do this with a brush and water, but using the baby wipe makes sure that you don't add too much moisture to the background and ensures that your cardstock doesn't warp. So I just went back and blended each of those colours individually, and then I just sort of dusted off all the little bits and pieces that you get left over. And there's no drying time. You don't have to wait for it to dry because it's pretty much dry straight away. So it was time to turn my attention to the pattern paper portion of my page. Now, I didn't really want to use a lot of pattern paper on this, given that I'd just done all that work creating that background. And I knew I did want to use that Amy Changerine sheet there, which is from the Late Afternoon collection, because I really wanted that dark colour behind the photo to pick up the colour of my daughter's friend's t-shirt, and also just give that dark border to separate out from the bright colours that were on the page and help the photo pop a bit. So I actually put 2 layers of pattern paper as the mat behind my photo. I had one scrap there that just wasn't quite big enough to make a photo mat, but I knew that I was going to put some embellishments in the corner to cover that up anyway, so it didn't matter. So I've got the double layer pattern paper mat underneath my photo, and I am also going to pop some cardboard behind my photo. I've got some scrap cardboard behind my photo to help pop it up from the page. And you can see that I'm also tucking a paper doily into my layers. Now, if you've watched my videos before, you know I love using paper doilies. There's a couple of reasons for this. I like the fact that with the holes in the doily, you can actually see the background poking through. And I also like introducing something that is a circular shape because it helps to break up all the rectangular shapes that you get from photos and the photo mats and everything else. So I just like that little bit of irregularity added into the page. So there is that gorgeous Simple Stories cut apart sheet, and you can see all the colours there are the same as the colours of the gelatos that I was working with. I went through and I sort of matched them up as best I could, and I was trying to choose what I was going to use as the focus on this page, and I chose that little piece there that had all those little banners on it with all those inspirational words. So I just grabbed a pair of scissors and I was just fuzzy cutting out all of those little banners. They've got words like fabulous, unstoppable, limitless, fierce, and I thought that they would be appropriate for this page about, you know, finishing primary school and transitioning onto high school. And I also fussy cut out the ribbon there that said "Go Girl" in the middle of it, because really this is what it was all about. I wanted her to launch from primary school straight into high school and do really well there as well. So it was just basically, you know, an inspirational, encouraging type page. You can see me with my scissors there, fussy cutting away. Now, my intention was to use that rosette ribbon down in that bottom right corner where that little bit of the photo mat was missing. So that was what was going to cover it up. And I was going to layer that rosette sort of over the edge of the photo as well, because if you know anything about me, you know that I like to embellish directly onto my photos. I don't always just like to leave the photo clean. I like things to sort of encroach over the edge of the photo. It just adds all to the visual interest of the page. So I am actually just stapling my layers together there so that they don't wriggle around or go anywhere. Now, at this point, I actually turned my attention back to the background. Now, I grabbed that scribbly style stencil, which is from the one of the Vicky Bouton Storyteller stencils. And I also grabbed the Ranger Stickles glitter gel. Now this is Asteroid that comes in this month's mixed media kit, and I was just swiping that through the stencil onto the background just to add a bit of sparkle and shine and a little bit of contrast to those coloured layers that I had going on there. But I thought, you know, it's a pretty girly page, why not add some extra sparkles? Everybody loves sparkles, right? So you will note that this glitter gel is a thicker consistency. If you had the Moon Dust in the November kit and then you've got the Asteroid in the December kit, you'll note that the consistency of this one is a little thicker than the Moon Dust. Just persevere, just use a palette knife and just push it down quite firmly. You can see it's got some of those larger glittery bits in it. So make sure that you just push it down through your stencil and push them down firmly onto the page, and all of those sparkly bits will be adhered once that gel dries off. Now, I will say that this product actually does take quite a little bit of drying with a heat gun. I am traditionally very impatient when it comes to drying things. So I actually turned my camera off, I went and got my heat gun, dried it off, and then I let it sit there for a little bit to cool down, because you will find that while the glue or the medium that the glitter is suspended in is still warm, it will still feel quite tacky to the touch, and you don't want to go smearing it across your page. So if you do use a heat gun to dry it off, I would recommend just leaving it for a little bit afterwards to cool down and finish drying off, which is exactly what I did. Then I came back and I was back on my papery pieces. So you can see I've sat my photo mat back onto the page there. As I said, I had already cut out that little rosette, and there I am fussy cutting those little banner pieces that have got all those inspirational words on them. Now, traditionally, I tend to go with the 3 embellishment cluster design ideal to form a visual triangle around my point of interest. I was going a little bit different with this one. My intention was to run my design with a diagonal flow from top left to bottom right, just to help draw the viewer's eye down through the photo. And I was going to pop those little banner pieces just to create that visual line, just going from the top left to the bottom right, and just to makes people's eye move through the photo, I guess. Now, the other thing I am using there is some frayed gauze. Again, if you know my work, you know I love to use gauze. It just adds a soft bit of texture to the page. Sometimes I like to use messy, cotton thread. But yeah, gauze is usually my go-to. You should be able to pick this up from your local pharmacy. They do just have packs of loose sheets of it, and I just fray it up with my fingers and then stick it in underneath my photo and leave the little frayed edges hanging out. It just adds a beautiful bit of soft texture, and it really works well with my messy type of style. Make sure you use a good liquid adhesive. I like to use Helmer 450. So Helmer, if you're listening and you'd like to sponsor me, I can always do with some more 450 to hold down my photo on top of the gauze. The gauze won't stick down. Your things won't stick down with tape on top of that. You do need a liquid adhesive for that. So here I am fiddling with that little rosette embellishment, working out where I want it to go. I've also got a handmade heart there from Charms Creations, and I will pop a link on my channel down below so that you can go and visit Charms store I love using charms embellishments. They add a beautiful handmade touch to the page. I like the fact that no two are ever exactly the same, and I have been using her embellishments for a very long time. So I had that beautiful pink heart there, which tied in really well with the pink that I'd used on the background, the pink that was on the rosette there. So I just tucked the heart in under the edge of the photo, and then I stuck the little rosette down over the top of the photo. What was I fiddling with here? Oh, yes, those gorgeous, gorgeous dots. Oh, I haven't gotten to those yet. Oh, no, I'm fiddling with printables. So for these printables that I'm working with here, these floral printables, they are an exclusive for Kit subscribers. And each month, Kit subscribers receive exclusive cut files and a range of printables that they can print off and fussy cut out to add in with their kits. If you are not a Kit subscriber, I would recommend you pop over, have a look at the website, see the details, see how it all works, and sign up because they are fabulous kits. So I just fussy cut some of the floral exclusive printables, which I tucked in under that sort of top left corner of my photo and then down along the bottom right edge because, as I said, I was trying to create that diagonal line through my page. And then I'm just sticking on those little fussy cut banner pieces with those inspirational words. And you can see quite clearly now how I've got that diagonal flow going through my design. So I know the next thing I'm going to grab there are those beautiful little dots. Now, I am a big fan of enamel dots, and you will see me use them quite often. These are a similar sort of product, except they are soft, puffy dots. These are from Pebbles, and they are a matte little dot, and they sit up beautifully from the page. And I have to say, after using them in this month's kit, that I think I might be addicted to them. I love them. They're really cute. They're a really good size. I like the fact that they're matte, just something a bit different from the traditional shiny enamel dot. I love how puffy they are, and they are super, super cute. I like how many you get in the pack. I like how many colours there were in the pack. So I pretty much had any colour I needed to go with any page from this month's kit. You can see this was my first outing with them because the pack was... Oh, no, it wasn't my first outing with them. There is a few missing there already. Anyway, I can see that I will be using these up in the very near future and probably sourcing some more. So I'm just scattering a few of those puffy dots just along that sort of diagonal line, just for an extra bit of pretty. Fairly simple. And then for my finishing touch, I'm going to go in with some black ink and just put in some light splatter. That's just going to help tie in the dark photo mat that I've got there and also the colour in the photo, and just finish it off with a little bit of a grungy touch. Oh no, hang on, I forgot one sticker. I've got a sticker from the Pink Fresh Studio cardstock stickers, which I just stuck up in the top left corner of my page just to finish off that little cluster there. Now, I think that's it. Oh, journaling. One line of journaling as well that I pop on there with my Sharpie. I don't know what else to say about this page today. It was a pretty simple one for me. I really hope that this has inspired you. If you've got gelatos lurking in your stash that are underused, get them out and have a play with them. Don't worry about how you do your background. Just scribble them on the page, blend them out, and trust me, it'll look really cool, really fun. Get them out and have a play. I hate to see these things sitting in our stash that just don't get used up. So when you get all your new goodies in your kit, pull out something old and mix it with them, and let's make use of all these products that we have. If you have any questions about my layout today, or there is anything that you want to know about, make sure you pop it in the comments below and I will get back to you ASAP. I hope you've enjoyed this process. Like I said, it was a pretty quick, not detailed one from me. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.